The red shirt with the number 7. David played football at school. He also played football for Chingford and Essex, places near his home. At 13, he went to a football school for boys at Manchester United. He went there every summer holiday. At 16, he stopped going to school, and 3 months later, in July 1991, a man from Manchester United came to Ted Beckham's house. "Your son is a good young player. We'd like him for Manchester United," he said. The red shirt with 18 years old, David was a boy player for Manchester United. In 1992, the boys won an important competition, and in September that year, David played his first game for Manchester United against Brighton. He was 17. In the early years with Manchester United, David was young, and he was sometimes angry. But after the red card in the game against Argentina, he stopped getting angry. Today, newspapers and fans sometimes say bad things about him or about Victoria and his children. Then he gets angry, but not often in a game. In September 1996, David played for England for the first time. After that, he played for his country many times, and in November 2000, in a friendly game against Italy, he was the new captain. He played well for Manchester United too, and in 1999, they won 3 big competitions. The first 2 were English football competitions. Then they beat Bayern Munich and won the European Cup. It was a very good year for the Reds. Posh and Becks. The year 1999 was very happy for David too. That year, he married Victoria. In 1996 and 1997, the number 1 girl singers in Britain were the Spice Girls. There were 5 of them. They sang and they danced. They were famous in many countries. One day, some Manchester United players watched the Spice Girls on television. One of them said, "There's the girl for you, David. The girl with the yellow hair." "No," he said. "The dark girl with the long legs. That's the girl for me." And he was right. Her name was Victoria Adams, or Posh Spice. At about the same time, one of the Spice Girls had some cards with photos of footballers on them. She and Victoria looked at the cards. "Who do you like?" she asked. Victoria looked at the pictures again. "This man," she said. "I like this man." Her friends remembered. It was a photo of David Beckham. One day, Victoria went to a Manchester United game in London, and there was David Beckham. Later, they talked, But David didn't say much to her. He wanted to be her friend, but she was very famous. He wasn't. He was only a footballer. A month later, they talked again after a game in Manchester, and then he telephoned her. After that, they were good friends, and after 6 months, they were in love. But there was a problem. They often went away for their work. David played football, and the Spice Girls sang in many countries of the world. One day, Victoria said, "I'm sorry, but we're going to be away from Britain for a year. We're going to visit 30 countries." It wasn't a happy time for them. David telephoned Victoria every day, sometimes 5 or 6 times. In July 1999, he married her. It was the big story in the newspapers. Football star marries singing star. After that, Posh and Bex were always in the newspapers. The World Cup 2002. Beckham, Beckham. In 2002, the final games of the World Cup were in Japan and Korea. England won their early games with no problems. The England players arrived in Tokyo before the final games and went to their hotel in a bus. There were a lot of England fans in the streets. They were Japanese people. "Look," David said to his friend, "we've got a lot of fans in Japan. I didn't know." "Not us," his friend smiled. "It's you. Look at the number 7 on their shirts. And listen." The people in the streets shouted, "Beckham, Beckham." "What are they saying?" David asked. "It's your name," his friend smiled. "It's your name in Japanese." For David, the big day was the 7th of June 2002. England beat Argentina 1-0, a famous win. David scored the only goal. After that goal, the newspapers never talked about the red card in 1998 again. Or not very often. The World Cup in 2002 was a very good and interesting competition. England didn't win. Brazil beat Germany in the final game. But England played well.